Hi folks, I finally did it. My first full 10-day water fast. No food, no calories, just water, electrolytes, a bit of coffee and some tea. I've done 7 and 9 days fast before, but this time I want to see what really happens when you cross the 10-day line. Not just to the numbers, but also to my energy, mood and mindset. I also want to find out if it's actually worth going beyond 7 days. So here's a full day-by-day diary of what I felt, what changed and what I learned. A couple of things before we start. First, I don't have much extra weight, so my goal wasn't weight loss. I fasted mainly for overall health benefits, like improving blood sugar regulation, enhancing metabolic health, and low inflammation. Second, I decided to make this fast as productive as possible. Fasting frees up a ton of time. No shopping, cooking, eating, or cleaning. So, instead of just lying down and meditating, I set ambitious goals to push forward my big project. We'll talk about it later. It turns out pretty cool. Finally, I picked hot days on purpose. When it's hot, appetite naturally drops, which makes it easier to stay away from food. Plus, fasting usually makes you feel cold, so the warm weather helps balance that out. Looking back, that was a great idea. It's definitely easier to fast when it's hot outside. Let's start with the 2 days leading to the fast. 2 days out, I hosted a barbecue with friends and intentionally overate to build hate toward food. Sounds odd, but it actually works. That's my new fasting prep strategy. The next day, I didn't even want to look at food. I played soccer, kept my meals light, and mentally shifted into fasting mode. I also prepped my electrolytes. Ultima, pink salt, and San Pellegrino mineral water. The start of the fast. I woke up super excited to begin.
Ooh, somebody stop me!
My resting heart rate was 50 and HRV was 30. The fast officially started at 7 AM, right after my last coffee with cream. I did a Dexa scan to set the baseline for my total weight, body fat and lean mass. My home scale shows slightly different numbers, but that's fine, small differences are expected. I also decided to work out every day early in the fast to get into deep ketosis faster and hopefully skip the dreadful day 3. So I hit the gym for some cycling and running. Since the fast had just started, it felt like a regular workout. I spent the entire day working on my project and didn't have time to think about food. One note though, August 25th happened to be my wedding anniversary. We celebrated 18 years of marriage. And yeah, my wife wasn't thrilled to celebrate it with just water. But she's my soulmate and supports me in everything. I also tested my glucose and ketone 3 times a day. Glucose dropped to 89 and ketones climbed to 1.0. Textbook star. Slept well, no real changes to my resting heart rate or HRV. My weight dropped by 5.5 pounds, which means I was holding a lot of water before the fast. As you probably know, during the first 2 days, the body loses a lot of lean mass, water, glycogen, gut content. All of that comes back quickly during refeeding. I went to the gym for cycling, strength training at about 70% of my usual load, followed by a steam room session. Felt a bit tired. The first calf cramps hit mid-morning, but electrolytes fixed them quickly. Hunger was already fading by that point. Throughout the day, my ketones stayed around 1.8 and glucose hovered near 90. Day 3, slept unbelievably well. Couldn't wake up, maybe from cutting back on coffee, but it felt awesome. I did cycling, running and steam room. During the day, my eyes felt a bit tired, probably from too much screen time, but mentally I was sharp. The warm weather made fasting surprisingly comfortable, and staying busy with my big project helped push any thoughts about food completely in the background. By the end of the day, my glucose dropped to 62 and ketones crossed 5. So, my big strategy to get into deep ketosis fast clearly worked. That was cool. By this point, my body had fully switched to fat for fuel. Hunger was gone and cravings were minimal. I went to the gym again, cycling, strength training and a steam room session. Spent time with my kids too. They take time, but they're always fun to be around. Had a tiny bowel movement at the end of the day. Slept great again. My resting heart rate dropped and HRV went up. Gym time again, cycling, running and steam room. One thing I realized, in my early fast, sleep wasn't great and I often feel drained. I used to blame the physical stress, but it turns out it was mostly mental. This time, I stayed relaxed, didn't overthink, and it made all the difference. I slept great and felt fresh every day. That sense of freshness made the fast so much easier. Another night of great sleep. It felt like my heart decided to take a vacation. But day 6 turned out to be the hardest of my fast. I spent the entire day at my son's soccer tournament. 95 degrees, full sun. It was brutal. One unusual thing, my glucose dropped to 41, the lowest I've ever seen. Strangely, I didn't feel bad, just a bit concerned. What helped me stay calm was remembering a Reddit post from someone who also fasted and hit glucose level in the low 40s during a routine doctor's office. He felt fine, though the doctors were completely puzzled. He never told them he was fasting. Anyway, I kept checking glucose and it climbed back up to 58 within an hour. Late in the afternoon, I went to the pool with my family. Cooling off felt amazing after the scorching day. By evening, my glucose was back to normal fasting levels. One thing though, my eyes stayed irritated through the entire day. Slept well again, my heart was still on vacation. Skipped the gym again since I spent the morning at my son's soccer tournament and relaxed at home in the afternoon. Woke up with leg cramps again and salt electrolytes fixed them. My eyes were still itchy, I got eye drop, they helped a bit. Went to the gym for cycling and running, but my energy was definitely lower. The taste of Ultimate electrolytes became pretty disgusting by this point, every single flavor. Had another small bowel movement. And as I started getting closer to the end of the fast, my productivity began to drop. Slept deeply again, my breathing rate slowed to around 13 breaths per minute, pretty good for me. Woke up with leg cramps once again. Salt and electrolytes helped, but surprisingly didn't completely fix them. My morning ketones hit 7.9, and I decided to take these last 2 days easy. Still, I went to the gym on day 10 for cycling, running and steam. Final morning, slept well, woke up excited. 10 full days, done. Before breaking the fast, I did another Dexa scan. Total weight down by 13.8 pounds, fat down by 5.5 pounds, and lean mass down by 8.3 pounds. Ketones hit 8.0, the highest I've ever seen. I also did a full blood panel test. It showed my body is under stress, as expected. And then came the moment to finally break the fast. It felt strange. I actually enjoyed fasting and felt anxious about eating again. I started simple, bone broth and boiled broccoli. Basic but so delicious. Later I had a bit of coffee with cream, some Brussels sprouts and a little cheese. After 10 days everything tasted unbelievable. The cramps were still there, but my energy started coming back. My glucose rebounded to 123. That was quick. My digestive system restarted smoothly and the next day I had my first real bowel movement. I gradually added avocado, eggs, chicken and salmon. Small portions, no sugar starch. Ketones dropped, glucose was around 100 and everything normalized nicely. My eyes cleared up, sleep was amazing. By day 3 my appetite was back to normal. I went to a party, had a bit of everything, even beer. No sugar cravings, no issues at all. My weight and energy were gradually bouncing back. By day 4 I was back to my regular workout loads, cycling speed, running speed and strength training weights. My weight stabilized around 159 and I felt fully recovered. After 12 days of refeeding, I did the final Dexa scan. As expected, my lean tissue had almost fully recovered, while fat stayed low. That was a lot of fun. Honestly, I didn't expect this fast to be this smooth. Definitely smoothest fast so far. A few things really helped. Overeating before the start, staying busy with my big project, and fasting during hot days. The hardest part wasn't hunger or cravings at all. It was the heat on day 6 and managing my daily life while fasting. Okay, before you go, I've got a few takeaways to share. First, fasting works best when you stop stressing about it. Once I stopped overthinking and let my body do its thing, everything went smoothly. Second, I am not fully convinced that going beyond 7 days has much benefit. Sure, days 8 to 10 are easy, but the extra value seems small. And yes, my metabolism and blood sugar regulation improved and inflammation dropped. 40 days after the fast, 8 out of 10 biomarker categories improved compared to pre-fast. I'll show you all the data, metabolism, inflammation, hormones, everything in the next video. And finally, that big project kept me busy. I built my fasting website, fasting.center, where I share all my fasting data and research. I think it turned out pretty cool. so check it out. Next up, time to build muscles fast and efficiently.